Right, sorry about that last game. I didn't realise it actually dropped, and it was so quick, so we didn't really get to see all that much. But this time we'll see a full game. I'm pretty sure of that. It looks like on the forums we'll see a full game on this one. It's 35 minutes long, so yeah, I'm sure we can see something good. And I think they will have swapped over SIBs right now. So in green, representing Team Nomistakes, we have RVK Basha, aka Hassan, playing as Vikings in green up to the north of the map. His teammate over to the right of the map in red is Slam, playing as Mongols. He also represents Team Nomistakes. And on the other side of the map in blue, we have Furio Jayawiyawinta. I don't want to say his name. Blue, playing as Persians, representing Team the Dark Side of the Force, abbreviated in the top bar up here, somewhere around there. And his teammate in yellow, Sneaky, playing as Spanish over to the left of the map. And yeah, so we saw a pretty standard game last game, well, pretty standard start to the game. We have Slam playing as Mongols, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing this one pretty well. Slam does play Mongols very well indeed, and actually, as I said in the last game, Hassan and Slam have been playing a lot of Hun plus Mongols against Jordan and the Viper, coming away with a couple of wins and being very good sports in that. So I think Slam and Hassan, of course, going into this game with a bit of advantage. We'll see how it goes, I guess. Yeah, there's not really much to say at the moment. We'll have a look at their gold positions, because last game we kind of went through it all with the civs and that, but obviously this game is exactly the same but reversed. Hassan this time, gold on the front, but it's close to his wood again, so he could wall off slightly here if he wants, but maybe he'll tower. We'll see. This gold, it's a good idea to put your gold and wood, I think, in the same sort of location, because then you just have to defend one place instead of two, which means ideally you need half the amount of spearmen to defend with. Slam again with back gold, and he had back gold in the last game also. Back gold is always good. It does mean that it's much easier to secure, and it does lend itself well to playing defensively and aggressively. You kind of have the choice. If you want to play it defensively, you've got gold in the back, so you can defend it very easily. If you want to play aggressively, you've got gold in the back, and if the opponent's gold is on the front, which in Blue's case, two of his secondary golds are, but his main gold is in the back. But if they do have gold on the front, you can pressure it very nicely and keep the pressure on, as it's easier to defend that back gold. But blue with back gold, red with back gold, yellow gold on the front, but again he's put his lumber and his gold quite close together, and this area here, the gold and the wood and the little oasis, it looks almost like a mirror image of this, the oasis and the gold. It's like almost identical. That's really weird, but flipped. So yeah, I'm going to speed things up anyway until we get up to the feudal age and we see some stuff going down. We're seeing a barracks from Slam, and obviously the Mongols do have a very fast gathering rate on hunt, but actually that barracks isn't too early at all, because I did just speed the game up to 8 minutes 45. So Slam is going to go up first, of course, as he does have that hunt. He does have the deer on the front, which he's taken. Good mill position there for him, as it's close to the deer and the berries, so he's able to go feudal very quickly, and he's going to finish that barracks up right now. We'll see if he's going to go for scouts or not, because he does have these deer, so it does lend itself quite well to going scouts, and also he's not moved any villagers to gold just yet, so he might decide that this villager, or these villagers, are going to go build a stable here and go with a very quick scout rush over to blue, and he could actually attack these this wood down here, actually, because this is very far from the town centre, especially if you consider how slow villagers walk, and scouts could easily get in there, pick a couple off. So Slam going to go with a very fast scout rush here, and there's 2 scouts out already. And there's one thing I do like about Mongols: they do have a very fast feudal time thanks to that hunt bonus, and they do have the ability to do very fast feudals with scouts as well, which is great. He's still got another deer to collect. He'll get another 140 food off of that. He's still got the berries there, of course, and he's just researched horse collar as well, so he can start seeding some farms and make sure that he doesn't get an idle TC, because of course spending 80 food on each scout is quite a lot if you want to continue making villagers as well. So it's kind of important that you make sure you get that food in, and And yeah, so he's going to want to seed some more farms fairly soon. Getting horse collar to prepare for that was a good idea. Let's see, barracks on the back for sneaky. I don't know if that's a sneaky move or what, but it looks like he's walling off on the wrong side. But we'll see what he goes for in a moment. He's playing as Spanish, so he could go again for scouts. He could just go straight for archers, but he's got quite a lot of food actually, and he has lured his deer in towards his town centre with his scout, so very nice from him. And he's going to have quite a lot of food, so he could go for scouts, or he could go for archers with a pretty fast castle behind that. We'll see how he decides to play it. And blue up to the feudal age right now, going for archers. And we'll see if he manages to defend. I mean, he's starting to wall off a little bit with palisades, which is a good idea. And if you can wall this off fully, it's actually going to be quite hard for Slam to get in without being seen by this spearman here. Or he'd have to go all the way around this side, all the way around the back, and then hit this area here. It's going to be, he's not going to make it easy for him. Blue is certainly not going to make it easy for him. But he should have plenty of food to do a reasonably strong scout rush anyway. So we're seeing one more scout coming out. We might see another, but it looks like he's going to roll out with 3 or 4 right here. He's got 4 already. He's going to move out with those 5 coming behind. And yeah, Blue's doing the right thing, actually warning himself up. He knows he's against Mongols, and when you're against Mongols, it's always a good idea to just try and defend with a few palisades. But it doesn't look like Slam's even interested in Blue. He's heading straight over to Yellow right now. And if he does get into Yellow's base, I don't know if he's going to be able to pick off all that much. And this wood at the front is the most likely to be attacked. But other than that, everything else is pretty safe. But either way, Slam isn't even... Is he going to Yellow? Yeah, he is going over to Yellow. It looks like he was actually just going to go around this around the back here and try and hit these villagers. But he is going to go over to Yellow, and because of course Hassan is playing as Vikings, Yellow perhaps not making any spearmen here because he's not expecting scouts to be coming in from a Viking player, but he wouldn't be expecting Slam's scouts to be coming in, so he's less likely to be prepared, and Slam might just have a better chance of actually doing some damage here if he can just hit some of these wood camps. We'll see if he does manage to do that in just a second, because his scouts are coming in, and we'll keep an eye on this. A lot of villagers going over to this wood on the front, and it is very far from his town centre, so if Slam just sends his scouts straight over there, could be a great opportunity for him to kill a lot of villagers off. So in he comes. He's going to hit this wood camp for now, I think. And Sneaky might decide that now is a good time to perhaps tower this. He's put himself as spearman over there, but with that many scouts, the spearman actually won't be that effective. They can surround it and kill it off, but Sneaky continuing to make some scout cavalry as well, and Slam going to want to GB there. Doesn't want to get in range of that TC and take too much damage, but he did take out a villager, which is well worth it considering he's not lost any scouts yet, and he's just going to hit and run, it seems. Hassan coming in with scouts as well, perhaps a little unexpected there, but they're both going scouts, and it's in a bit of a 2v1 sort of fashion. Looks like they're both going to head down towards Blue's base right now, and if Blue isn't prepared, he could find himself a little bit caught out of position as if they both head over there. It looks like they're going to go round. It's really hard to tell what exactly they're going to do. Moving their scouts in various directions could indicate anything, but Hassan's just going to hang around Yellow's base for now, I think, and it looks like Slam is going to head straight over to Blue. Again, I don't think he's going to be able to get that much. There's 2 spearmen right here, which is enough to really send Slam away, and Blue is actually making archers as well, getting ready to harass Slam over here, and Slam's adding on a second stable. We saw him do horse collar very early on, starting to see a lot of farms, and he's not really taking that much gold. He's sending 4 villagers over there right now. It looks like to me he's just going to go all out on scouts, which is kind of cool. And again, he's not going to get into that wood camp very easily at all. He can come straight down to this gold, but bear in mind there are 2 spearmen right here, and there are archers as well. So Slam could find himself in a bit of a tough position attacking this, as obviously he really doesn't want to mess with those spearmen if possible. But yeah, another stable going up, and he could be trying to go for a reasonably fast castle, and he's adding more villagers over to gold so he can go for knights. because he's not actually making any scouts at all right now. So perhaps he's trying to do that. He's just outmaneuvering Blue a little bit here, but he's got 3 spearmen actually, and Slam really isn't going to be able to do much against that. There's just too many spearmen there. Really going to be tough for him to get in there and do anything. Also, we've got Blue coming in the back of Slam's base. He's got +1 completed. And I think Slam's probably going to anticipate this with that scout being there. He sees it coming a mile off and he's going to get back into his TC. Turns out he's not going to try and fast castle. He's adding in more scouts right now and losing 1 villager. So 1 villager lost for yellow, 1 villager lost for Slam. And he's going to have to make scouts to defend now, otherwise he's going to be in a pretty tough position defending that. No archery range just yet. So usually you see 1 stable and 2 archery ranges, but we're not seeing that. So perhaps that isn't what he's planning to do. He's just going double scouts. Maybe he's trying to confuse his opponent a little bit here. And Hassan going with a hell of a lot of scouts here. No upgrades on these guys though, so Spearman will be fairly effective, though he can take them out pretty easily if he does surround them like this. Gonna lose no scouts there, but yeah, he doesn't have bloodlines or anything, so that's curious. Slam, however, does have bloodlines. He does have +1 defense as well, so he is just going all out on scouts, and it's kind of unusual to see that. Kind of nice though. It just gives him a lot of map control, a lot of maneuverability, which is always a good thing. And these archers do have +1, but of course the scouts with their +1 defense and bloodlines should have no troubles dealing with this at all. And he's building a mining camp on the front as well for good measure. Wow, Hassan has got a lot of scouts there. They're both going like all out on scouts, which is cool, especially for Vikings. You usually do expect Vikings to go for archers, but I kind of like the fact he's going for scouts here. Just about killing off this this attack here. The spearmen getting involved though. And they are attacking downhill as well, so Slam actually losing quite a few scouts there, more than you would perhaps expect, especially with that spearman in the mix doing a little bit of damage. And it should be, there we go, cleared up, no problem whatsoever. But Slam is certainly not going to have a fast castle age here, continuing to make scouts it seems, and that will slow his castle age time down. Still not adding an archery range, which is kind of interesting, as more archers and spearmen roll out for Blue right here. And it does look like he might be in with it. No, he won't. I was going to say, Slam's got a few too many scout cavalry there. He really does. But a bit of yellow coming in at the back as well. A bit of double harassment on him. And he's going to have to defend quite well here, because there are a couple of scouts. He's lost another villager, and if yellow moves these in towards this lumber camp again, he could get another one, but it looks like he might just get back to his TC in time. It's going to be fairly close. Slam just completed another upgrade. I think that might have been +1 attack. Yes, it was. So fully upgraded scouts at the moment, and if he continues with scouts, then once he goes castle, he could upgrade to light cavalry. So far doing a pretty good job on taking out these archers and spearmen from Blue. He really hasn't been able to do all that much. Hassan is halfway up to castle right now. Sneaky is on the way up to castle as well, and Blue is still in the feudal age for now. So we're having a bit of a prolonged feudal war over on the right hand side of the map, on the bottom side. But these guys on the north are going up a little faster. Sneaky's starting to stone wall up again, and this guy does like his stone walls, it would seem. Hassan trying to find his way in, or find a way in. Not having much luck so far though. He might decide to go and attack one of these houses perhaps, to try and get through, but with a stone wall there, yellow is going to be very secure inside of his base for quite some time. One thing though is he has, oh no, he is taking stone. There we go. I thought he actually put stone outside of his base, but he's taking a lot of stone here, so it looks like yellow is actually going to go for a castle with, it probably won't be an offensive castle, it'll probably be a defensive castle, but he will go for a castle, and he will go for conquistadors, which is always a nice strategy, and one that we've not seen very often, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that all goes for him. Slam coming in, trying to do a bit more raiding. A lot of spearmen from Blue though. He is very prepared, and Hassan with archers and crossbowmen right now. He's making the logical transition. He's not going to stick with scouts or go for knights. He is just going to go for crossbows, and that's why Viking players usually go for archers to begin with, because if they have any archers left over, then when the crossbowman upgrade comes in, it's a little more effective, as it were. Trying to get in through here, pretty desperate to get in, but Sneaky keeps walling up behind, and Hassan isn't going to be getting in here anytime soon, I don't think. He's going to keep trying, but he's not going to be very successful, I don't think. Sneaky almost can afford very nearly his castle. He's on 400 stone right now. He's getting there, it's not far at all. And it won't be taking him long before he just get that castle down, probably defensively, and he will be able to defend with that. Making a couple of knights over here. He's going to probably want to put them inside of the stable for now, though, until the stable goes down. That way he can make the most use out of them. Or never mind, he's going to actually send them straight out, and Hassan's going to ignore that, so I wonder where he's going to go with that knight. I mean, he could clean up this a little bit, but they do have +2 and +1 defense. Knights are unupgraded, so it's kind of a big difference there. Slam still trying to harass over at Blue's base. Blue is clicking up to castle right now. Slam is already halfway up to castle as well, so he could go for light cavalry. That would be pretty cool. He could also go for knights. He has got a lot of, or quite a lot of gold. He's towered the gold on his front, and he's got a reasonable food economy as well. So knights probably going to come out with Slam, and he could upgrade to light cavalry also, because he does have quite a lot of light cavalry already on the field. So Sneaky trying to wall up behind this, losing a villager in the process, but also losing a stable, so he can't make any more knights right there. But it's not too bad. He should, in theory, be able to get this castle up in just a moment. He needs a tiny little bit more stone, and obviously Hassan knows exactly what's going on. He's got crossbows right here. You can see this. He knows what's up. He knows what's good, and Sneaky can now build his castle. Where will he put it though? A good position probably going to be about here on this stone, I think. It's going to on the gold. It's going to help protect his gold a little bit. It's going to push Hassan away from this location, give himself a little bit of space back. But one thing to say as well, he's also making a mangonel, and if he does land a big shot over here, especially because he will have the hill advantage, he might be able to crush quite a lot of crossbows. They do have +1 armor. Bam, there's one. Not really a huge amount of damage done. Quite a lot of low HP crossbows there though. But putting the castle up on the front on his stone, interesting decision. I perhaps would have tried to protect my gold a little more, because bear in mind, archers here could potentially hit this gold, so you might want to be careful with that. But he does have a lot of food, and he will have a lot of gold very shortly, as he does have a lot of gold collectors, so conquistadors are going to be out very shortly for him. Archers in the back of Slam's base, looks like they're going to be upgraded to crossbow very shortly, because blue is up to the castle age right now, and crossbow is being researched. Let's see what Slam is doing. He is upgrading husbandry right now and making knights. He's also upgraded light cavalry. I'm not really surprised by that at all. Chain barding armor +2 defense as well. So Slam going to be very well upgraded already. And he should, even with these light cavalry and knights, be able to do a lot of damage to Blue's eco. Even with the spearmen mixed in there, he can do quite a lot, as the spearmen with no upgrades certainly aren't very effective against knights with +2 defense, +1 attack, and bloodlines as well. So it's worth noting that the blue spearmen, wherever they've gone, are not upgraded at all, which is certainly going to impact what he can actually do against Slam's cavalry here. Moving out, he knows that blue's around the back of his base. Light cavalry and knights mixed in together. Very good combination indeed, and still the mangonel fires over onto Hassan's scouts on this side. Hassan no upgrades on them, but we do see the castle now from Sneaky, and I like this. He's making conquistadors, and I love to see this. They're very strong. Obviously they do require a castle first, but if he upgrades their defense, he will have very strong units here. 16 attack. It's no small thing. He hasn't got bloodlines. He could do that if he builds a stable. Gives these guys some extra HP and extra longevity. But at the moment, he looks like he might just go for a counter, but with only 2 Conquistadors on the map, that's really not a lot compared to that many crossbows from Hassan. So it's certainly a little bit risque. Blue has upgraded pikemen. He knows that Slam's going all out into cavalry, so he is prepared for that. Pikeman's certainly going to be a little better at defending, although he still has no upgrades, so perhaps they won't be that great. And we do see a siege workshop on the front for Slam as well, so we might add some rams and some mangonels in there also. And Slam going to have to, Hassan even going to have to defend against the crossbows and the pikes, sending some of his army back right now. And I think Yellow is going to be happy with that. He's created kind of a little bit of a distraction there. He's going to give himself a little bit of time to make Conquistadors. Of course, the actual rate of production of Conquistadors is actually quite slow because they don't create that fast. You can only create them from a castle, and it's very hard to get more than 1 castle up at this stage of the game. Big raids coming in on Blue down in the south. There's a lot of pikemen there, and Slam's going to have to either focus them down or just try and avoid them if he can. Otherwise, he will lose a lot of cavalry to them. But with +2 defense, he should have an okay time against the crossbows, especially with the attack advantage, +2 attack. So he's doing a pretty good raid right here. I think he's going to lose most of this army though. I think there might just be a few too many pikemen for his liking here. And bear in mind, pikemen cost a very small amount. They don't cost any gold whatsoever. So Slam definitely made a loss in that battle, I'd say. He don't think he took out many villagers whatsoever. He may have killed a few pikemen, but really, pikemen are much more cost efficient at taking out knights than knights are at taking out pikemen. So a very nice trade for Blue right there. You can see in his score, it kind of reflects how that just went. His score is 200 higher than Slam right now. And Slam, I would say, at this stage probably has a better economy. Got a lot of farms up, and he's got a very large amount of gold income as well. Conquistadors coming in from Yellow right there. A little bit of 2v1. Going to be cleaned up by Hassan's knights. Well, knights, scouts even, eventually, I think. These guys having +1 defense, that will certainly help, and he will not want to throw them away. They are fairly expensive to make. He's got a lot of wood at this stage. You could sell some wood off, or he could just make some arch crossbows or something like that. Though Spanish crossbows are certainly not the best, so it's much better to go with cavalry as Spanish. So perhaps a little bit of an imbalanced eco here with a lot of wood, a lot more than he really needs at this stage of the game. Ooh, Conquistador power. They really do a lot of damage. Fortunately though, they are a little inaccurate, so not all attacks are going to hit. They will miss some, although they do hit a very large amount when they do actually manage to land. But now we see Hassan coming in, and a lot of these Conquistadors are going to get picked off very quickly by the crossbows, using the scouts to sort of kite them and distract them, and the crossbows to pick them off. And it looks like Hassan will have ballistics by now as well, which does mean that his crossbows will be able to take out those Conquistadors pretty easily. He's also going up to the Imperial Age, so that's pretty cool. He's playing a pretty good game right here, and he's playing as Vikings, so he will go for Arbalest. Looks pretty certain that he will. He's adding more archery ranges in right now, and leather archer armor is being researched as well, so he will have +2 defense, he will have +2 attack by the time he reaches Imperial. He'll probably go for the defensive and, well, bracer and the defensive upgrades, as well as the arbalest upgrade very shortly. Slam's still going with knights and some scorpions as well. Scorpions are pretty good against infantry, so it is a good idea to go with those, I guess, though usually they don't make such a big impact at all. Slam with a very large amount of knights there. And we see Hassan now, leather archer armor almost completed, arbalest being researched. No chemistry just yet, he'll probably go, oh, there we go, chemistry being researched. And once leather archer armor is done, he'll probably go bracer, yes he will. So pretty much fully upgraded arbalests in just a moment for Hassan. Not really sure where they went though. Pretty sure he didn't lose them all. Ah, they're down here. Slam deciding to attack the blacksmith, not really sure why he decided to do that. But just keeping Blue inside of his base, penned in, and they really haven't got the best ecos. They've been very aggressive this game. Slam, for instance, still only on the 1 TC. Blue is on 2, 3 TCs and defending quite well, adding in some monks as well. and Hassan is going to go for blue right here. Blue seems to be the bigger threat at the moment, so Hassan's going to come in with his Arbalest right now with +3 attack, +3 range. Chemistry will be done very shortly, which means +4, and the Archer Armor upgrade is going to be done as well. So Arbalest pretty deadly. Going to be killing off a lot of villagers, and if they keep 2v1ing blue here, blue could find himself out very quickly indeed. A few pikemen and crossbows in the back of Slam's base here. Slam going to put his villagers to safety inside the TC. But of course, Arbalest now going to be able to kill so much. Blue losing a lot of villagers already, and they really do pack quite a bit of a punch with 9 attack. Compare that to the 7 attack from Blue's crossbows there. But now they have 10, so pretty damn strong, and they will be able to take out the pikes as well. If they do take out the pikes, then that leaves Slam with a very good opportunity to come rolling in with his knights. Looks like it's going to be GG there. Blue saying GG right now, and he resigns. He knows he can't deal with it 2v1. Yellow's Conquistador push didn't really work out all that well. He's going to resign in just a second, it seems, and I like how he did try the Conquistadors, but it wasn't really that effective at all. I couldn't really see many of them on the map. He didn't really mass them up, and it's kind of unfortunate really, because I mean they are very strong, and if he'd have managed to mass them and get into the back of Hassan's eco or something, he could have done tons of damage. Here for instance, these wood collectors very exposed, a very far distance to the TC. Quite a few Conquistadors in there, could have killed the majority of them, but Yellow didn't do that. He just kind of sat back and walled himself in whilst he boomed and made a few Conquistadors on the side, so not really very aggressive from him at all. Slam and Hassan 2v1ing blue in the end, and then they decided to give it the GG, so that makes it 2-0 for Nomistakes. They advance through to round 3, which is the round, it's double elimination, that's what I meant to say.